All right, so I'm here with Connor Intveld. Connor, you've been a previous SA amateur champion before. Last year, obviously, you aiming to do that again. This weekend coming, you have the Couting Championships. What's your thoughts on sort of your young career so far?
I think it's very good at the moment. I can't wait for what's going to come ahead. And yeah, actually, it's been lots of fights. Some tough, some easy. But yeah, and no losses. I like that a lot. I have 26 fights, 26 wins. So.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, because obviously I do the analyzing and the scoring and the percentages for the fights, is that you recently, not the last fight, but maybe the fight before last, you had a bit of a low. You're probably one of your worst performances, yet you still won the fight clearly. What was that feeling like when you didn't perform to your best?
It was bad. I fought like what I did. Well, all I did was pressure, but it didn't work out. I fought him again the next fight after, and it was much better. Yeah. I started to move, I hit, but that fight wasn't really that great for me actually.
Yeah, and I picked that up. But I mean, as long as you're performing in the big tournaments as well, and you mentioned that you haven't lost yet as well, which is a bonus. But at amateurs, I guess, unless you like Lomachenko, which maybe you want to be, that's not really the most important thing. The most important thing is winning the gold. Doing it this year again, how difficult do you think it'll be?
I think it'll be more difficult for heavier and older. And yeah, when I'm older, it's gonna be heavier because there's gonna be bigger people. It's gonna be taller. So yeah.
And you and your brother both are twins, identical twins, but you box at different weight divisions. How did that come about?
So he's a little bit bigger and older, so we decided for him to be the heavier one, and I had to be the lighter one.
And how do you feel about being so, quote unquote, the smaller brother?
It feels a little bit weird to say that, but yeah, it's fun, whatever actually.
And you guys, obviously, you've been boxing since you were about half a brick high. You guys started really young, and you're building out to today. What do you want to do now going into, do you want to go to the Olympics? What is the plan at amateur ranks?
So I would have gone to the Olympics in 2028, but they took the Olympics out. So what I'm going to do is going to get a few more championships, maybe go to overseas to have their championships as well and fight there. But then when the time is right, I'll go pro.
Yeah, and let's talk about that because, you are young now and you still want to make a lot of decisions and a lot of things can change in the future. But what's the plan for going pro?
So I'm going to have a few more fights, see how that goes. I'm hoping it's going to be very good. Then if I get enough fights and I'm the right age, like 22, 20, then I'll go pro.
And I've noticed you obviously got an amateur coach, but also you work with, you and your brother both work with Heki Butler as well. He's grown up with, you guys have grown up with him, let's put it that way. How's that training setup work for you?
It's very good. So my coach and Heki work together to make plans, and it's actually been working very, very good with him. He does like the pads, he helps us with technical stuff and all that stuff, running, fitness, sparring and all that kind of stuff.
All right, and I know you guys come with, there's a lot of fans that come out now to come and see you at the events. I know you guys get big cheers when I watch the videos back and so forth. When you hear, who do you hear when you're in the ring? Let's put it that way, because a lot of people say you only hear about 3 voices when you get in there. Who's the voices that you hear when you're in the ring?
So I hear my coach, I hear my dad, and I hear Heki. So 3 people are actually here. It's like, that's right.
And which advice is the best out of all of those?
So all of them together, they actually work in different kind of ways. Like my coach would say an uppercut, Heki would say a hook, and my dad would say like a right. And it all works together. Because sometimes the guy's like this, sometimes he's like this, sometimes he's like this. Yeah. Very weird sometimes, yes. All
right, and because you guys are still juniors, as if I'm right, is that how they call it? School age. Then you boxed quite early in the day as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we boxed earlier, but the lower weights go first, so we wanted the low weights as well. So it would be like 2 people before us, and then we would fight.
And you've registered quite a few stoppages in your career as well. I see both of you sometimes get the guys out there in 1 or 2 rounds. Is that something you work on, or do you work on just pure fitness and just getting going the distance?
Okay, I knock it as a bonus, but mostly we try and beat them on points. And sometimes if we had to knock them out and it's easy and it's able to knock them out, we will do it. But if there's a hard fight, we rather go on points then and try and knock the person out.
And explain to me kind of what's your style. Who do you model your style on? Like who's the guy, or is it unique to you?
Okay, it's unique. It actually depends. Sometimes I'm like Triple G that goes forward. Sometimes I'm moving a lot, but I recommend moving a lot. Hit, move, hit.
What do you think is going to happen this weekend at the Couting Championships? Do you think you're going to get a fight? Because you guys did mention to me off camera that it's not always a guaranteed thing that you're going to get a fight at the Couting Champs.
So I heard there's a person in my weight. I don't know if he's going to fight me or he's going to pull out. So let's hope I do get the fight, and we see how it goes. I want to win by points, and if there's a knockout, I can do that.
Have you fought this guy before?
I do not know if I have or not.
Oh, okay. But you guys fight quite a lot, so I mean that's also another thing. You want to rack up the medals. We saw that the elite and the youth championships just took place in Durban previously. Did you watch any of that?
I watched a little bit, not that much. I was mostly busy with other stuff, but it was quite nice. One of my coaches from the gym went there as well with the place. His name is Jerome. Yes.
And obviously you guys will be competing at that one day, but you got this one coming up now, which it's important. And tell me something. You haven't lost yet. The day might come in the future. We don't know. We can't predict the future. How do you think you're going to take it? Because you guys seem very geared on boxing.
So the way I would take it, I would think over what I did wrong. I'd be a little bit bad if I did. I'd be a little bit sad. But if that happens, I'll just learn from my mistakes. And if I lose, amateur is not as big as what I will lose in pro.
All right. Let's get a prediction for 2024. This year, obviously, you want to win a gold. What else is there to do in boxing for you?
So I want to win the gold, then maybe later on go overseas to go and fight there, see how the people box there, and then fight them. And if I lose there, I'll just take a good look at myself and be like, let me work on this, and then I'll fight them again.
So I mean, if you guys go overseas and you do something there, that'll be huge for your growth. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, you sometimes don't get fights here in South Africa just because you gold boxers now. So that's extremely difficult.
So yes, that is true that we don't get fights much. So my coach arranges fights most of the time to get people to come all the way here to fight, and sometimes we go to them to fight them as well. That's why if overseas, because there's lots of people there that's boxing, so it'd be quite great actually if we go there because we get lots of fights.
All right, and if people want to come watch you this weekend, you said you didn't know quite where you're going, but you will be at the Couting Championships. Are you urging them to come and support?
If they come, they don't come. If they do come, I don't actually mind. I'm just there to box, have a great time, try and win. If I lose, it's fine. And yeah.
All right, well, all the best, and I hope you go on to win the essays as well. Obviously, SA Boxing Talk also sponsored by the Intveld twins, so that's really great. Nice to see you both. And yeah, Connor, do you want to leave us with any last messages?
So I want to say thank you to my dad, my mom, my coach, Hickey Butler, my pops that came all the way from Malaysia, and all the people behind me.